Welcome back, horticultural hustlers. If you're here, then you probably saw my last video on how I make money with plants. If the first installment left you with a desire for more green in your life, either in your wallet or in your yard, then you're in for a treat. In this video, we're going to dive headfirst into the world of growing out clearance plants over the winter, for sale in the spring and summer, with profits that'll make your piggy bank blush. In today's video, I'm going to show you which plants I bought on clearance, how much I paid for them, and how much I expect to profit from them next year. So let's leave our financial woes behind and grow plants of prosperity together. Today, I'm also going to share with you which plant is my MVP, most valuable plant, because I think it's going to make me more money than the other plants. So stay tuned to find out which plants are the best for profit. It is dreary December here in the Northeast. So far, we've had a ton of nights below freezing, and we've even had a few light snowfalls. All of the plants that I'm going to show you today are perennials that will go dormant for the winter, but will emerge big and beautiful next spring. That being said, they look a little rough right now, but that's normal for this time of the year. First on our list is the Summerific Hardy Hibiscus. This isn't a plant, it's a botanical sensation. With its huge blooms and electric colors, the Summerific Hardy Hibiscus has the ability to take an ordinary backyard in a cold zone like growing zone 5 and turn it into a tropical oasis. Before I go clearance plant shopping, I always do some research on what has been the most popular perennial plants for sale in nurseries, and this one is at the top of everyone's list. These plants have become the heartthrobs of gardeners everywhere. Now you can see that the list price for this plant was $25, but because I got it for 75% off, I only paid $6.25 a plant. I was able to scoop up 10 of these. I believe that I will be able to sell these quickly for $22 a plant next spring, giving me a profit of over $150 just for these 10 plants. Next on our list is this little bang red elf Coreopsis. Coreopsis are known for their cheerful blooms and no maintenance habits. These plants grow great in most growing conditions and don't require a lot of work. So they're perfect for somebody who's new to gardening or who doesn't have a lot of time to spend outside. You can see that the list price on this plant is $11, and I feel confident that I'll be able to sell them for $10 each. But I only paid $2.75 a plant, netting me a profit of $70. These Monterey Jack Daylilies were $2.75 a piece, with a list price of $11. I bought some of these at my clearance sale last year, and I sold out of them in 1 hour. These Monterey Jack Daylilies sold like ice cream cones on a hot summer day. Not only was I able to find them for $2.75 a piece, but I feel confident that I can sell them for $10 each this season. Again, netting me a profit of $70. But not only that, because I found that these were so popular, I'm also ordering a wholesale group of 25 similar daylilies, similar in color to these Monterey Jacks, and then another set of these amazing pink daylilies that have a colored throat and these beautiful ruffled petals, and I think that those are going to sell really fast too. Another great seller for me were hostas. Now, I don't think anybody came to my plant sales to buy hostas. They came for the daylilies and the hibiscus, but almost everybody who came to my sales bought at least a few hostas. You can see that the retail price for this hosta was $8, but I only paid $2 each. So now you're thinking that I'm making $6 of profit per plant, but that's not exactly right. See, this hosta is not a patented plant. The other plants that I've shown you so far are all patented, which means that I can't propagate from them. But these hostas are not patented, so I can divide each of them. So for the 10 plants I was able to buy on clearance, I'll be able to sell 20 plants once I divide them, and I'm confident that I'll be able to sell them for $6 each, which will leave me a profit of $120. So are hostas my MVP? Actually, no. Another fantastic find on my local clearance rack were these fuss-proof Easy Elegance roses. Now the list price on these is $23, but I was able to pick them up for only $5.50 a piece. I feel confident that I'll be able to sell these for $20 each very quickly, but I was only able to get 4, so that leaves me a profit just for these 4 plants of $58. So are these my MVP, you ask? Nope, not yet. These proven winners, Wine and Roses Weigelas, actually have some blooms on them. Weigela is a low maintenance shrub that has a really long bloom time. These shrubs generally bloom for about 8 weeks in the late spring and early summer. You can see that the list price on this plant was just under $17. But again, because I got it for 75% off, I only paid $4.25. This plant is my MVP. Can you guess why? Well, unlike most of the other plants that I showed you today, this plant is no longer on patent, which means that it is legal to propagate from it. I was able to pick up 4 of these plants, but I believe that I'll be able to root about 20 cuttings, maybe even more. I'm thinking I can get a minimum of 30 cuttings, but some of them probably won't root just because this is the wrong time of year to do that. So not only am I confident that I'll be able to sell each of these 4 plants for $15 each, I will also be able to create new plants for years to come. That's why this plant is my MVP, because not only will I make a profit from it this year, but I'll continue to profit from it year after year after year after year. So are these Weigela more valuable than the green giant arborvitaes or the skip laurels that I showed you on the last video? Actually, maybe. Here's why. Both the green giant and the skip laurels that I showed you in the last video will fetch a higher purchase price, but they also will take longer to grow out. For both of those plants, it will take me at least 2 growing seasons to have a saleable plant that I can share with my customers. However, the Weigela is a little bit different. I believe that if I take cuttings from the Weigela now, I can get them to root in my heated greenhouse and grow them out over the late winter and early spring and have a saleable plant this June. Timing is key when you're considering which plants to buy on clearance to sell for a profit. For me, my biggest plant sales occur in June. Part of that is just because it's the beginning of the gardening season and it's finally warm here in the Northeast, but there's another reason too. In my area, one of my biggest sales is during a fundraiser called Johnny Mac Day. Johnny Mac was a local hero who died of 9/11 related cancers. But in his memory, there's a foundation that raises money in our neighborhood and does amazing things for the community. I have a sale table during their event every year, and that is where I met most of my customers. That sale is held the beginning of every June, and these Weigela should be blooming beautifully during that sale, when so many other things may not be blooming yet, which is just another reason why it's my MVP for this clearance sale. Now, I realize that there are some people who are watching this video who might be really excited about starting a side hustle like this one, but in your area, the clearance plant sales are already over because it's December. So one word of advice that I have for you is that there is a ton that you can do with seeds. Here's just one example. This is a yarrow plant that I grew from seed last year, and you can see that this is ready, past ready, to be up potted into a 1-gallon pot. This is about to go dormant, so I will up pot this over the winter and it will grow beautifully in the spring, and I'll be able to sell this for $8 to $10, even though I only paid a couple of cents for the seeds. I do the same thing with black-eyed Susans and echinacea. If you are going to try to do seeds, just do your research, because there are many perennials that don't flower the first year from seed unless you start them super early. Yarrow is one of, out of the 30 yarrow plants that I have, only about 5 of them flowered the first season. So now these are all plants just from one plant haul. So how much did I spend and how much do I expect to make? Well, here's the numbers.
This video shows the screen as I checked out from my local big box store. You can see that I bought $523 worth of plants, but with 75% off, I only paid $174. Now this sale includes plants that I didn't speak about on this video because I could only get 1 or 2. For the plants we discussed today, I paid a total of $114, and I expect to make a profit, so not including that $114, of $528. It took me approximately a half an hour to shop for these plants, and it will take me about a half an hour to set them up for sale in the spring or summer. So if you add that up, it's about $500 for an hour's worth of work. Now, of course, I'm not including the time I'll spend watering the plants or dividing the hostas in the spring. I'm also not including the time that I'll spend taking cuttings, but I'm not including the money I'll make from those cuttings either. The information in this video covers one clearance sale that I went to, but I went to multiple sales and I'll be able to multiply that $500 profit many times over.
If you're interested in learning more about how to make money with plants, I invite you to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching today. Have a great day.